first one, Driving You Crazy, I wrote when I was 17. It was the second song that I wrote. And then the others, two of them are relatively new within the past 2 years, but they were written over a long period of time, and in the studio they were just like polished with my producer and stuff like that.
So who produced it?
Rob Dickey, he's the drummer from 19 Wheels back in the day.
And the new EP is titled River Rocks. Is
Yes.
there sort of an overriding theme to this collection?
I would say so. The reason it's called River Rocks is because I always liked how, like stones in a river or in the water polishes them and shapes them to be like really smooth. And so I kind of think of these songs the same way because they're really old and they were kind of rough ideas in the beginning, but just learning more about music over time and just listening to them a bunch without a lot of effort, they kind of became these like polished things. And so, yeah.
Great imagery. Let's hear something. What are you going to play first for us today?
I'm going to play The Dream. It's the third track, and it's completely different on the EP because it has an 808 kick drum in the background and all kinds of things, but this is just
and we should point out that tonight at your CD release show, you're going to have a band behind you,
yes.
and not as a solo act, and that you are playing sort of this is sort of the way it was probably first
absolutely, yeah.
All right, here we go. Sandra Effert for Local Spins on WYCE.
Oh, I had a dream that you were doing fine without me. I couldn't remember why we broke up. All I know is while you had it all together in your own place, I was a crying wreck, and the house was a mess. And oh, I know we had our problems, and I know we don't always agree. I've always seen that as a good thing, and I hope that you see it the same. Oh, I woke up to the smell of coffee in the kitchen. It took me a second to shake off the dream. And while I've never liked the thought of needing somebody, my world was significantly better with you in it. Screaming and the fighting's getting louder. Every day I'm growing colder towards you, and blame and resentment's taking over our lives, and I don't know how to make it feel right, but I hope that you will be happy. I know that I'll find someone who makes me feel free. I hope you'll be better without me, but if not, I'll never be sorry. But I hope that you will be happy. I know that I'll find someone who makes me feel free. I hope you'll be better without me, but if not, I'll never be sorry. I hope you'll be better without me, but if not, I won't be sorry.
Sandra Effert for Local Spins on WYC. She's here in our Studio X. She'll be performing tonight as part of her official EP release show upstairs at the Golden Age at Creston Brewery. Hannah Rose and the Gravestones and August are also on the bill. This is sort of like a superstar lineup you brought together here for this.
All female lead singers too.
It's a great female-fronted evening. When do things get started?
7 p.m. is the doors, and 8 p.m. Hannah Rose kicks it off. She's doing like an acoustic set with upright bass too. So
that sounds great. So you're also were the lead singer and the keyboard player for The Sauce for a while, correct? And so what led you sort of? How do you sort of mesh what happened with a band when you were sort of one of the pieces of the band versus what you're doing now as sort of the front person?
It took a while. I'm not naturally a leader. I don't like leading all that much. But in The Sauce, I learned a lot just about jamming, and that, I was always used to filling the entire sound with the piano, and it's useful because it has highs and lows and mids. But the biggest thing was that now I have to write a part, and I can't step on the toes of the bass, or I can't, we can't all be doing the same thing at the same time. So that was something that I definitely learned with the Sauce, and that now with a backing band, I still incorporate that, but then when I do solo, I'll go back to how I wrote them, that kind of thing.
Do you have a day job, and how do you mesh what you're doing as a sort of a person earning a living versus the stuff that you're doing on the side, which is probably your passion?
Yeah, it is. It's interesting. It's very, very busy. I also have a 5-year-old son, so I have a day job. I teach piano and voice, actually, at Academy of Music, and so teaching music helps with me just constantly having ideas. And then I do DoorDash and just like various things like that. And then, having a child is kind of a full-time job too. How do I manage that? I don't know, a big planner, a really big planner.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, you're going to be performing actually in a number of different places here over the next month or so. You got Goshen Brewing Company in Goshen, Indiana. That's going to be interesting. November 13th, November 15th at Smiley's Acoustic Cafe in Greenville, South Carolina. And then you're going to be back here in Michigan, Final Gravity Brewing on December 13th in Kalamazoo, at Vicksburg on January 17th, and in Hudsonville on January 25. Are these shows all solo shows, or are you going to be with a band with those shows as well?
The tour, Indiana and South Carolina, are with a band, and then Final Gravity is with just harmonies, and then the Distant Whistle is also with Patty singing harmonies, and then the Hudsonville one is solo.
And tonight you're performing. Tell folks who you're going to be performing with tonight, because Patty and I know Brandino were going to be here this morning as well. So it's actually kind of an interesting lineup you've got for your own band.
Yeah, it is. So Patty Pershela, she's amazing. She's playing bass and harmonies. She's helped me so much, and she's just like my sidekick. And then Brandino Proch, he's playing drums, which he doesn't usually do, even though he plays everything under the sun. That guy is so talented. They're playing with me. And then I have Evita Adolfo's playing cello with me on 2 songs. And the girls from August are singing some harmonies on some songs as well, so it'll be cool.
That'll be a fun night. All right, what else are you going to perform for us this morning?
This one's called You Scare Me, and it's track 4 on the EP. It's a lot slower, and this one does have cello tonight and on the EP.
Is there a backstory behind this interestingly titled
You
song?
Scare Me? It's pretty self-explanatory. The backstory is just relationship stuff, like not being ready, but like emotions taking over and you not wanting to control them, but not being able to. That's kind of the backstory.
All right. There we go. Once again, Sandra Effert on WYCE 88.1 FM.
Scare me with your blue eyes and your perfect face. You scare me. I'm not ready. My heart is hiding and my thoughts are racing. I'm not ready. For what it's worth, I can't seem to stay away from you. I wanna push you far from me, but I just keep wanting to see you. I just wanna see you. I'm falling. It can't be in love, it must be insanity. I'm falling. And I'm fighting with all I got to keep my head. I should've run away from you, but I always come right back to you. You scare me. I should have run before I got lost. You got me. I should have run before I got lost in your blue eyes and your perfect face, your steadiness and your focused gaze, that noise you make when your lips touch mine, your damn voice, your broken smile. My mistake again.
Sandra Effert from her new EP. She's here with us in Studio X this morning for Local Spins on WYCE. She's celebrating release of the new EP River Rocks tonight at Golden Age, which is upstairs at Creston Brewery in Grand Rapids. And also on the bill will be Hannah Rose and the Gravestones in August, and with some special guests as well. So interestingly, what's your plan for Sandra Effert over the next few years? How do you see things sort of evolving and rolling out for you in terms of this music?
It's important to me that I don't get lost in this business side of it, because business is important, but for me it's always been therapy to write songs, and I want to keep it that way. I don't want to write just to pump out another song. That's like the most important thing. So I plan on balancing it with curating events, because I was curating like Women, Wine, and Song at Tip Top, and I really liked that. So I have some ideas for like winter blues sessions, things like that, locally being involved in that. And then also with the Sandra Effert, I do want to keep the backing band. I'd like to tour maybe once or twice a year, not full-time just making music, but being involved in the music industry.
Speaking along those lines, what's your impression of West Michigan's music scene? Obviously, your project and some of the things happening tonight are ultra collaborative, which I find to be quite common here in the Grand Rapids area. How do you view what's happening here right now?
I'm in awe of it. I haven't been involved in a different music scene yet, but it's not what I expected. It's way more supportive than I thought, and like everybody is so nice and constantly pumping each other up, and I feel like everybody understands that what's good for everyone else involved is good for you. So it seems like a family in like a really big way. And it's interesting because when I'm going to Greenville, and I was asking the guy that's opening for me if there's like anywhere I could do an in-studio interview, or like if there's like a review magazine type thing. And he was like, "Oh no, actually I don't think so." And like people don't really know each other that much over there, and I think that's a shame. I think it's really inspiring and motivating to be involved with other people doing the same things. Like I'm always watching, for example, like a Hannah Rose show, and I'm like, man, I want to do that. That's really cool. I want to do that. And then I'm like, oh, I want to do that. And to think that maybe somebody would think that watching me is really cool.
Yeah, one of my mantras, and I repeat this often, is that whole business about a rising tide lifts all boats is so true here in this scene, because anything that does sort of benefit some of the artists that are starting to get attention definitely helps other artists as well, because there's a lot of collaboration and other artists who are willing to support what they're doing and sit in on studio sessions and that kind of thing. So that's great to see too. So
and I get so much better sitting in with other people, like singing on Patty's album or whatever. Like I feel like I get better, and it's just. I feel a huge pride when I see other people accomplishing stuff. It's really, it makes me happy.
And speaking of which, we always ask our in-studio guests to choose another local artist who they like as our musician's pick of the day, and you picked Olivia Mainville. So talk a little bit about Olivia, because she too has been sort of instrumental in sort of boosting things in West Michigan's music scene with her open mics and other things.
Yeah, I first heard her stuff, I think, on Bandcamp or something, and I instantly loved her vibe. It's very retro-y, always liked that. And then I went to her open mic in Park Theater, and she's also just this really nice, hardworking person, and humble, and it's like all these great people, I don't know. And so then I heard her live, and live I enjoyed it even more, and I love that she has upright bass with her, and just I just really like the vibe of her music. It's very unique.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for being here. Good luck tonight at Creston Brewery. This is Olivia and the Aquatic Troupe, and this is the band's most recent single, Smoker's Rag, for Local Spins on WYCE 88.1 FM.